Ben McCaffrey was very irritated. His wife had yelled at him that morning for not paying enough attention to their son. He made the cardinal mistake of talking back to her, and for his punishment, he was now forced to accompany his boy on the first day of kindergarten. This was decidedly inconvenient for him, as it meant he was going to miss an important board meeting with his company directors at 8:30 a.m. Hector Ramirez was very irritated. It was the wrong day to draw the short straw for the donut run. Yeah, the donut shop was only a block away, but their office was on the 20th floor, and so it took a while to make the journey. Time he could ill afford that day because his quarterly report was due at 8:30 a.m. that morning. The way things were going, he was likely to miss that deadline. Mia Ginelli was very irritated. She had forgotten to change the batteries in her alarm clock and had woken up late on the one day she couldn't afford to be tardy. As she rushed about the house frantically getting dressed, she forced herself to face the possibility that she might miss her 8:30 a.m. job interview slot. Peter Okocha was very irritated. He watched in disbelief as just 30 feet ahead of him, his bus pulled away from the bus stop without him on board. How could this happen? The bus that was always late was 5 minutes early today of all days. What rotten luck. Now, how was he going to make time to swing by his stockbroker's office for an 8:30 a.m. appointment before going to work? Dennis Morgan was very irritated. He had walked 8 blocks to the subway station before he noticed the egg stain in his shirt. There was no way he was going to take his manager of the year photo with egg on his shirt, so he had to walk back home and change, although that meant he would probably have to call the photographer and push back the 8:30 a.m. photo shoot. Michelle White was very irritated. Her car wouldn't start. That meant her 8:30 a.m. therapy session wouldn't happen. Carl Markham was very irritated. His new shoes were causing him blisters, so he had to stop and buy some plaster. The long queue at the chemist meant he was going to be late to relieve the other security guard at 8:30 a.m. All right, there you go, 7 stories. Now, I'm sure you've spotted these are all stories of irritated people who are about to miss their 8:30 a.m. deadlines and appointments. What I haven't told you is that all of these 8:30 a.m. appointments were in the North Tower of the World Trade Center on the 11th of September 2001. At exactly 8:45 a.m. that morning, the first plane hit. 9/11 still remains the deadliest terrorist attack against the Western world. 2,977 innocent people died that day when Al-Qaeda terrorists hijacked and crashed 2 aircraft. But you know, we never talk about those who narrowly missed dying on that day. Like these 7 stories I've just told you. You know, when bad things happen, we often imagine ourselves to be facing the end of the world, but we don't realize just how much worse things could be. We don't always see beyond the misfortune to see how grateful we should be for the minor inconveniences that save us from worse ones ahead. So the next time you're stuck in traffic or the elevator doors won't open, instead of getting into a fit of rage, just remember that you are exactly where God wants you to be, safe from much worse. My name is Kojo Yankson, and when things happen that I don't understand, they are usually